Last Stand, a new book by journalist Todd Wilkinson, tells the captivating story of a complicated and at times misunderstood American icon who never aspired to become a Gilded Age tycoon. Ted Turner, media visionary, pioneering businessman, concerned citizen, living in a troubled world. In 1938, the year Turner was born, tyrants and merchants of hate were on the march, growing stronger. Humanity was in turmoil. There was no United Nations. We witnessed the bloodiest outbreak of violence in history. More than 70 million people died, 70% of them innocent civilians. Fortunately, good would prevail, thanks to a spirit of shared sacrifice, a defining virtue of what Turner's close friend Tom Brokaw calls the greatest generation. But to end the war, a new weapon had emerged, unleashing the power of the atom. Nuclear bombs were detonated twice on human populations. After World War II, there was a sense that the sobering impacts of dropping the bomb would guide us into a safer, more enlightened age.
I do not believe that any of us would exchange places with any other people.
And yet, we went to the brink of nuclear Armageddon with the Cuban Missile Crisis.
But the greatest danger of all would be to do nothing. The path we have chosen for the present...
These events made a lasting impression on a young Ted Turner. Fortunately, we survived the Cold War, but the nuclear threat is still with us. In the 21st century, we face terrorists who have already demonstrated their willingness to do the unthinkable. We know Ted Turner as a wildly successful entrepreneur, a brash sailing captain who won the America's Cup, and founder of the 24-hour news channel CNN. But there is a lesser-known side of the man. Aboard the Calypso on the Amazon River, father figure and mentor Jacques Cousteau handed Turner a mantle of environmentalism. It was a call to action. Cousteau counseled, "What can men of good conscience do but keep trying to do the right thing until the very end?" This is part of the tapestry of life experiences that inspired Turner to pursue an other life, addressing the gravest dangers facing civilization. The widening gap between haves and have-nots, the ever-present nuclear threat, human-caused extinction of species, climate change, rising population, and depletion of natural resources. Last Stand is the story of Ted Turner's quest to save our troubled planet. There are 7 billion of us alive on Earth today. Millions suffer from acute malnutrition and disease caused by poverty and environmental degradation. By the end of the century, the human population could reach more than 10 billion, 5 times more than in the year Turner was born. How will all of us get enough food to eat and clean water to drink? On top of it all, there's a new threat: climate change. In 20 years, the polar ice caps have melted more than in the last 10,000. Rising oceans threaten our coastal areas. Deserts are expanding. Iconic animals of our world are in trouble, disappearing, similar to mass extinctions of the past. We are depleting the Earth's natural resources, including life-giving rainforests, massive freshwater aquifers, and once bountiful oceans. This much we know from history. When natural resources become stretched thin, powder kegs of conflict are ignited. Ted Turner is trying to do something about it. As he says, none of us can pretend that we are immune to the problems of the world. Last Stand is about a global citizen who invites us all to become part of the solution. Ted Turner has marshaled his resources across a number of fronts in ways that are unprecedented. As one of the largest private landowners in the U.S., He's grown a bison herd of 55,000 and is bringing back a living legacy of wildness to the American West. He's managing his holdings as arks for imperiled wildlife through the Turner Endangered Species Fund. To ensure the survival of all species, the Turner Foundation has invested $360 million in over 3,500 organizations supporting conservation and environmental initiatives. He's trying to eliminate nuclear weapons through the Nuclear Threat Initiative, an organization he co-founded. He's making investments in alternative energy with 500,000 solar panels on one ranch alone, providing electricity to over 9,000 homes. Through the historic gift of $1 billion, he created the UN Foundation, dedicated to eliminating poverty and disease, promoting peace, and helping the United Nations address global challenges. Make no mistake, Ted Turner is a businessman to his core, a believer in the power of free enterprise. In a journalistic coup, Todd Wilkinson explores the journey of this enigmatic titan in his evolution from businessman to trailblazing eco-capitalist humanitarian. Throw away all you think you know about Ted Turner. Read Last Stand. It is an eye-opening portrait of an American icon.